Yo, what up, street gods? Eric Kim. All right, hype thought. Gotta get the hype. So currently we have this field called powerlifting, which is based on the deadlift, squat, bench press, and you know there's certain rules that you gotta like have certain form, a little depth, blah blah. But I think the problem with that is people's trying too hard to follow a certain way of doing things rather than think about what they really want. So powerlifters are kind of funny because they tend to be like kind of fat dudes who, you know, in the long run they'll start, you know, snorting the that ammonia thing, you know, like get all the straps, the belts, all the deadlift suit, whatever, and get all the equipment, just keep trying to get your numbers up, whatever, right? But assuming that you don't compete and you just want to lift a heavier amount, I would actually say hype lifting, something I made up, is probably a better approach. Essentially the basic idea is you increase the weight but you reduce the range of motion. So for example, even if you want to lift something super heavy, hype yourself up and have an out-of-body experience, doing what's it called, rack pulls, I think it's actually a good idea. Like the first time I saw it, like it looked like cheating, right? But then I'm like, nah, screw it, I'm just gonna give it a shot. And actually it's fun because this is something I discovered, that like the standard deadlift, or you know, kind of doing deadlift, like I'm actually, you know, pretty tall, quote quote. Like I'm whenever people meet me in person, they're like, whoa Eric, you're way taller than I expected. I'm like, bro, that's because you're racist. You think all Asian dudes are short. I'm like around like 5'10", 5'11", 5'10" and a half, 5'11" and a half, a little short of 6 feet. And actually, especially when the Big Epiphany in Phnom Penh, they had the open hex bar and the hex bar. When the bar starts off higher up, it's actually much more ergonomic for me, or better leverages for me, because I'm just like taller. And so, I mean, I don't know, right? But I could maybe perhaps imagine, right? Like if you're shorter, closer to the ground, it's easier to deadlift off the ground. Whereas, you know, if you're taller or whatever, or shorter arms, whatever it be. And I think my arms are like normal length. Maybe they're on the short side, I don't know. And then doing it like with the trap bar with the raised handles, I think it's actually a really good idea. And then for me, at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't care like how swole I am or whatever. It's more I love the hype. I think in modern day life, you're not allowed to get loud. And for me, I like to do the Ric Flair, woo, right? Like get really, really loud, kind of scare people. And this is how people in America are super racist, or, you know, social classist, or whatever classist, is that like educated, smart people aren't allowed to get loud. But if you're kind of lower class, lower socioeconomic status, blah, blah, like, you know, you could, quote, quote, be allowed to get loud, but people are gonna look at you with disdain. And the big problem, especially, you know, like, you know, with Asians, Asian Americans, whatever, they're kind of at least with the men, the negative bias or the sexism is, you know, Asian men are more effeminate, blah blah. And so a lot of people kind of get shocked when they see me, like, you know, randomly breakdancing in public, or you know, getting super loud at the gym, hyping myself up, rolling my thighs up to get the short shorts. It's like they never seen an Asian dude with self-confidence, right? So I think the practical takeaway is, you know, go to the gym, lift heavy weights. You know, even with squats, I call it micro squats. Like I think I don't remember the exact number, but I think I might have micro squatted maybe like 540 pounds or 560 pounds when I was in Phnom Penh. And especially when there was no one there, like I had nothing to prove anything to nobody. It's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna, you know, just do this for funsies and just kind of see what happens. And yeah, and actually, I mean, it's just more fun when you hype yourself up. You kind of an out-of-body experience. I mean, I think that's the reason why I'm so addicted to hype lifting, is that A, I just love getting loud, and B, even if I can move the weight half an inch, like to me that's the victory. And so yeah, I would say just more of the story, have an out-of-body experience when it comes to weightlifting, hype lifting, powerlifting, whatever you call it. Increase the weight and lower the range of motion. Lower the range of motion.